Brought to you by The Masks Come Off. Yesterday, a Trump-appointed federal judge in Florida ruled the Transportation Safety Administration's mask mandate for all air travelers in airports and on planes is unconstitutional. Later in the day, the TSA issued a statement saying, they would abide by the court ruling while they mull over their options. This led to a bevy of videos of pilots and crews around the country making the announcement to their passengers to cheers. Basically, every major airline in the United States has come out and ended their own mask mandates for employees and passengers. Blue checkmark Jeremy Faust, MD, tweets, "Hi, United. When I bought my tickets for me, my wife, who is pregnant, and our unvaccinated 4-year-old, I assumed you would continue to have a mask mandate. Now you cancel it, and we'll have to board our return flight under your new no mask required policy. Thanks so much." Former Education Secretary Arne Duncan tweets, "For my safety and for the safety of my family, friends, and everyone I come in contact with, please keep wearing masks when you travel. I promise to do the same. Thank you for helping to save lives." Here's White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and Fox News' Peter Doocy.
Why is it that we can sit here in the White House briefing room with no masks, but people can't sit in an airplane cabin with no masks?
Well, Peter, I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor.
And then there's this from Twitter user Jared Rabble. "I boarded a plane today with my son. In mid-flight, the pilot announces that the mask mandate is over. Flight attendants pulled off their masks and sneezed directly into their hands while screaming, 'This is MAGA airspace.' My son turned to me in tears. I don't know what to do." That's some good satire on its own until you hear what comes next. A reporter from the New York Times reached out to Jared via Twitter direct message asking for his comment about what happened on this fictional flight. Speaking of journalism's greatest hits, you remember Taylor Lorenz, a journalist, I guess, for the Washington Post, whose sole purpose in life is to cancel and harass people, and how she cried about how she's treated online.
You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
You're fine,
it's overwhelming. It's really hard.
Well, she's back at it, this time targeting the woman behind the Libs of TikTok Twitter account. Lorenz reportedly sent her own goons to family members of the individual to gain more information on the Libs of TikTok gal, as part of a hit piece she published at WAPO this morning, where she did indeed dox the woman behind Libs of TikTok, a Brooklyn, New York mother and former real estate agent. If you ever truly threaten the spirit of the age, if you're ever really over the target, they will try to destroy you, and that's how you know you're winning. Moving on, back at the White House, Joe Biden celebrated Easter.
Welcome to the South Lawn. Thank you and happy Easter. All right.
Wait.
In case you didn't catch that, that's Jill Biden telling Joe, wave, wave. During the festivities, Joe Biden walked over to a group of people to talk to them when he was immediately interrupted and ushered away by an Easter bunny. Reports are that the Easter Bunny is one of the special assistants to the president in the communications department. Later on in the event, during a book reading,
Just stay.
She's telling you just sit. Don't move. She's your teacher.
I'm the teacher,
again, for those of you listening, that's Jill Biden directing Joe's every movement. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday his state's legislature will consider stripping Disney of its special self-government power in Orange County to wrap up the legislative session in the next couple of weeks. According to the Labor Department, 13 states have recovered all the jobs they lost since March of 2020. Those states are Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Montana, North Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. Odds and ends real fast. YouTube removed an interview Fox News' Tucker Carlson did with a woman who took testosterone in her teenage years because of her gender dysphoria. The woman has since embraced her God-given sex, and that's why the video was removed. Midwives in the UK are being urged not to use the word vagina because biology is hateful. The latest filing in the Durham probe into the origins of the Trump-Russia collusion narrative shows at least 5 former Clinton campaign contractors have invoked the Fifth Amendment and refused to cooperate with the probe because they fear they could incriminate themselves in criminal wrongdoing. And that's what happened while we were away.